you got some questions. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, you get that, Lindsay, Bella says, how do you overcome self-sabotaging behaviors? And now that one right there is probably prime number one question right now. So thank you both for those questions, because it kind of opened me up. But let's deal with Bella. How do you overcome self-sabotaging behaviors? You have to understand your program. I think a lot of people jump into shadow work and things like that, but they have to understand what's been programmed into them, because you have to pull it up at the root. Other than that, you're just sort of pulling out the needles of bad, traumatic times. You're just like, oh, this hurts, I'll pull this out, but you haven't really healed the program. And so how I do it is I question everything. I question everything in my mind. I question if I believe what I say I believe. Do I believe that? The moment you start questioning yourself is the moment that you get to the self-sabotage. And how you do that is, books. I just generally know as a basis that some of my self-sabotaging thoughts are because I was in a program that diminished me completely. And if you're a chosen one, you'll see that they usually do it in your family. It's not usually coming from so much an external force as it is your family that has given you thoughts that were with you when you were forming. So every time you think about something you want, you instantly have to think about something that someone said something against it. And it's like a program, it's automatic. You have to defend everything. When you're in survival mode like we were in, and still are in many cases, you have to defend everything that you get. So you never really think you deserve it without a fight. So you struggle with everything because you think that everything good you get, you have to sacrifice.
I love Jordan water, and when I'm traveling, it's a necessity. It refreshes me. I feel grounded. The air around me feels more cleansed. It definitely helps me feel refreshed.
Sacrifice and struggle with. So nothing comes easy because you don't believe it comes easy to you. You don't believe it comes easy to you, so nothing comes easy to you. What everyone is talking about here on TikTok is reality. Now, that's exactly at the basis. What you believe, what reality you believe, and you don't really manifest it, you imagineer it. And so that's a little different, and the people will catch up to that level of creative thinking, shall we say. But self-sabotaging thoughts are not only coming from your programming from your childhood, but from everyday language. You have to be careful not to mirror or match energy. You have to be careful of that. It's not something that you should judge yourself over. Here's another thing. You know what really gets rid of self-sabotaging thoughts? Judgment. When you stop judging these thoughts as if you have to fight them, but you figure out, well, why would I think that? Why would I want something and think against it? And you'll get to where that was done for you, but you have to look at your life as if it is like a book. That's how I do it. I look at my life like it's a book. I don't look at it, I don't get attached to it so much because I know that I was a clean slate when I got here, And now I have all these programmings that work against me. But here's the thing also. Sometimes, and I don't know how healers got this way. I really don't know how they got this way. But sometimes in the healing profession, everybody's looking to see what's wrong with you, and very few people are looking to see what's right with you. And that's a huge disservice to the light when everyone's looking for the issue that you have as a form of healing. And no one's looking at, wow, you don't have that, other people have that, you don't have that. And so you go into this healing field.
Hey guys, this is Selena. I just wanted to come and give y'all a little tip about this beauty in a bottle. This is called a Jordan Water Mood Spray. It's called Peace in a Bottle. Let me tell you, it's all organic. It's made with crystal water, sage, aloe vera, limes, and other natural flower essences. And let me tell you, it just lifts your mood, puts you at rest. Oh my God. Listen, you just spray it all around yourself. Y'all like my shirt? Y'all remember that? Schoolhouse Rock? Whew, people need that again. Anyway. You just spray it all around. It just lifts your spirits. It just makes you peaceful. You can spray it around your house, spray it on your partner. Just give everybody a little boost, a little energy boost. So I highly recommend you get yourself some magic in a bottle. Talk to you soon. Oh, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Introvert's Heart. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hearing yourself and remind yourself every hour on the hour. This is not something that you say to yourself and all of a sudden you get the light and all of a sudden now you're free from it. No, you have to remind yourself because the program was aligned so that it would compound every hour, every 2 hours. Anything you did that you wanted to do that was good for you, there was something to tell you that you didn't deserve it, or you needed to work harder, or you needed to be a better survivor, and things like that. And mind you, survival instincts are not bad. Keeps a lot of good people here. Yeah, a lot of good people have common sense. And they don't do things that would inhibit their life and still think that the light wanted them to do that. So it's like sometimes common sense is rare in spirituality. Just common sense. And I understand it because on the higher dimensions, the rules are not the same. But you don't live there all the time. And that's the beauty of being an expanded soul. You're able to look at your life through the dimensions. You're able to talk to it. Like, the things I'm going to say on the third dimension, I'm going to say on the third dimension. Doesn't mean I don't know the sixth dimension. But I'm talking to people in the third dimension. I'm doing some third dimensional stuff. That's why I chose to be on the third dimension. They didn't choose to go to the fifth and sixth dimension. They're regular people walking around every day. That's just the resting part. The resting spot is third dimension. And so you do third dimension, but you can't expect everyone to be on a higher dimension and stop trying to have deep conversations with shallow people. Stop being angry because they're shallow. You know they're shallow. You're trying to stretch them because you want to have a deeper conversation. And, that's true. And they don't want to have one. They want to have a shallow conversation. So what are you going to do? They can't climb to you, but you can drop to them. But they can't climb up because you came in front of them and now they all of a sudden now they see the light and they're talking sixth dimensional stuff. No, they didn't sign up for that. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of the spiritual community. They're not understanding the cycles.
You guys, literally, this Jordan Water Mood Spray, Peace in a Bottle, smells absolutely amazing. Ever since I've started using this stuff, I've noticed that my gains have just skyrocketed. Something about it, whenever I spray it onto my body, the fragrance of it, the aroma, the energy it has behind it. Check it out, guys. Get you some.
They're not understanding the individual journeys because they have been in group consciousness with churches. So the Holy Spirit, everybody's worthy of it. No, not everybody signs up for that level of spiritual contact. They just didn't. And they don't have to tell it to you. It'll show up because they'll be sitting still while everybody else be having the spirit. They'll be sitting still. They didn't sign up for that. They're not going to hell. They just didn't sign up for that level of contact. They have their will is intact. They don't need it to that level. And so when you're talking to people and you see outside of it and you're conversing with them and you could see and feel that they actually are getting some light, but there are times when, what I've learned, when people first start to awaken, they assume that everybody's awakening with them. They assume that everyone is going through an awakening process with them. And the second thing is that they assume that everyone's going through the awakening process at the rate that they are. Just because one person knows a crystal You meet someone who knows the crystal doesn't mean they know about the Akashic records. They just may know about the crystal. They just may know about the crystal. They may not know about anything else past the crystal, because they don't need to know about anything else past the crystal. That's where they are for right now. Now, if you want to learn more, then you move and you get to where the people that you're meeting are feeding you more than what you know. But you have to do that. That's part of the journey. A lot of people awaken and they don't understand the movement that's necessary, that goes with it. They want to awaken through retreats, and retreats are the beginning, yeah, but some people, they keep retreating for like 5 and 6 years and they wonder, well, how come I'm not getting anywhere? Because you won't take off the training wheels. Yes, Solo Man, yes, what's up, bro? Yes. You won't take off the training wheels, meaning you won't grab a one-way ticket and let the spirit lead you to the journey. You're into this group thing. You're into this training wheel thing. But a lot of the spiritual awakening journeys, almost at least 95 that I know of, and I know a lot of them, they are a solo effort at some point. You go to Sedona alone, and most people will tell you, the Sedona, there are certain parts of this country that trigger a spiritual journey. Sedona, Arizona is one of those locations. You'll find the majority of us will at some point be in Sedona, Arizona. You would have dreams of it, you'll think about it, because the frequency of the place is a place where it's like a beginning for many people. And I don't know what it was in other lifetimes, so you have to understand, we're not talking, when we talk this level of Sedona, Arizona energy like that, you're talking galactic energy, but you're also talking past lives, you're also talking no time or space. So that's a dimensional. Now, third dimensional people, very rare in Sedona. Very rare. Very rare. If not, they won't be third dimensional for a long time while being there. So you go to places where people are enlightened and the information is there for you. And sometimes I often tell people, my students, I'm like, everyone's got to learn how to channel now. They've got to learn how to channel. The information that everyone's looking for would never be in a book. And if it's in a book, the book is part of another person's program. So the more you read it, the more you go into that person's world. And now your own thoughts are not yours. And so when people keep telling you to read these books, we light workers are saying, no, read parts of the book, never read the whole book. Read what you need to get out of it as a base. Put together your own encyclopedia, your own wealth, your own library yourself. I mean, this is the internet now, so you don't have to. It's not.
Don't come around. Here you go. Energy off. I feel it through the phone. You need to fix your aura. Get you some Jordan water. Yes. Matter of fact, get your preacher this as a present, because he been sprinkling purified water on y'all for years. Get you some of this crystal spring water with some extra in there, because I ain't finna tell you. You're going to have to go to jordanwater.com and check it out for yourself. It's going to enhance your whole mood, clear your whole aura, and reset you. That's what you do.
I would offer that. And because the program is designed that you don't really solve it, you don't. You don't really solve it. Yes, it says, is it okay that I love to hear people's journeys, though I like to read about other people's stories? Yes, no, I mean reading about other people's stories is one thing. That's not what I mean. Yeah, reading about their journey is one thing. But I mean people reading whole books about points of view and spirituality from one person, from beginning to end, and then telling other people to read that book. And we pull parts of the book out, but always remember, we don't really read complete books. We're pulling what we need out because we're being led by our inner guidance. So our inner guidance doesn't need you to read the whole book. It just may need you to read just a couple of chapters to understand something, because the lesson of the soul may have multiple books, not just one book, and now you're reading the whole book. Let your inner guidance tell you the information will never be in one whole book. It will be, first of all, the information that's coming to the planet now is coming down as we speak. So there are a lot of people like me, like I have to talk third, fourth dimension here, because that would be to the level of the people that are here, and I enjoy it. But when I go into the higher levels like this, if I go into like the fifth and sixth dimension and start talking fifth and sixth dimension, we start talking about planetary pulls. We start talking about migration of people. Because we know that something is guiding something. There are systems on top of systems on top of systems. Some of the things we're conscious about and some of the things we're not conscious about. But what we know is that beings are being shifted upon the planet. They're being moved. They're not being moved, they're moving themselves. So Gaia also speaks to us. And I know to a lot of, and that's on a higher level. That's a fifth and sixth. I wouldn't expect anyone who is on the third and fourth to truly understand what I'm saying, but they will get there. They will get there. And so there's a difference when people say with me, why am I a light worker? Why didn't you choose another title? And I said there was nothing broad enough for me but light worker. All the other titles were too narrow for me. They were not broad enough for me. I could not fit all the gift that I had inside of them. And they were limiting to where I administered the gift, where the gift flowed to. It was limiting. It had to be in a certain structure or a certain this, a certain that. That wasn't going to work for me. And it doesn't work for a lot of people. So I don't find myself as special or unique in that way. I just find myself, I might be rare to some people. I might be very rare to some
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like I am floating.
When you need something to boost your mood, I have the perfect solution for you. Jordan Water Mood Spray.
I can feel that instant vibration change. It just is awesome.
It is designed to boost your mood instantly with its natural ingredients. The aroma of the flowers will take you to a different world and make you feel relaxed and ready for anything. Get your bottle of Jordan Water Mood Spray now and enjoy the amazing Get Your Jordan Water today with over 20 years of healing in just one bottle.
Would you recommend
Within
it?
seconds, you can feel it.
Would you recommend this?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
true meaning of. Like they didn't know the true meaning of light. And I was there to, tell them there are levels to this, right? Yeah. And I was there to tell them the true meaning of light. Now, did you say, well, was I illuminated and was I special? No, I was a light in dark places, and that's when they discovered the true meaning of light, because I was over, it was a lot of them against me, and I was a kid. I was very young when the oppression of darkness came upon me, and I learned to detach. It was a detached thing that I had, where I would detach from anger. I detached from anger. And a lot of people say, well, what do you mean you detach from anger? It was like I got into nature, and nature was beautiful, and I was just a kid running around in the field and having a good time. I detached from anger. I detached from anger. And it's very simple. There's certain things. That's why I'm in nature now, because I know it works. And when I see people do, when they go to my 7 sacred trees and they get out in nature, it leaves them. It always works. It always works. It's never not worked. No one's ever come to where I work at for healing and leave not feeling good. Because the place is designed for that. The whole site, that nature is designed for that. And when you get into harmony with that, nature will do what nature do. Your anger is not going to overpower an oak tree. It's not going to overpower a lake.
Ma, yes. What are you doing? I am spraying my pillows before I go to sleep. This is Jordan Water Mood Spray. It's peace in a bottle. What it is it is like a calming spray, a mood spray. Let's say you had a bad day. And you are trying to calm yourself down. This right here is all you need. You can spray it on your face, spray it all around you, your whole aura. And you can spray it on your pillows at night before you go to sleep so that you can sleep peacefully. It's just all about peace, just calming you down. It can really bring you back from a negative headspace. Jordan Water, y'all better get you some.
Guess what? That's how your ancestors got here anyway. So this whole thing in America has this bad where we don't even want to move from state to state, much just county to county or town to town. You know, we don't even want to move. We don't want to move anywhere. And that spiritual people have that bad, where they will have signs and triggers and all of this saying, hey, you need to come over here. Hey, you need to do all this. And they'll wait and they'll wait and they'll wait and they don't realize until they are forced to move. But if they followed it, the opening, everything that they wanted, all the finances and all the easier things that make the move easier has already been set. So when the door opens, you walk through it. Now, if you don't walk through it, it's going to open up again, but it won't be exactly what you need. Because the first opportunity had everything in it, had the job, had everything you wanted to be in it, because it was the first time. Now, each time that it has to come back around, something costs you. You just don't get, free turns all the time. Like, it'll come back around with the same intensity. No, it'll come back around, but maybe two of those things won't be on that list. And you may have to work a little harder to get comfortable in the new city that you arrived in, because and the universe gives you time. It's not like it gives you 2 days and say move. It's been giving you the indication. It does not surprise you. The universe is not giving out surprise. There's no need for the universe to be hiding things from you. So it doesn't make any sense for it to be hiding you. It is. We are unaware of the inner guidance of it. We are unaware of our inner guidance, so it feels like it's hiding and you have to manifest. Like, how are you manifesting and not understanding what's guiding you from the inside? Why are we putting the cart before the horse? And you have all these people talking about manifesting and they don't have the appropriate alignment. They haven't gone through, and the healing process doesn't mean a deep healing. They haven't gone through being able to speak clearly from their heart yet. And that's what triggers it. That's what manifests things into the reality, your heart. Your heart. That's why manifestation works really well when you're at your last and I don't know where I'm going to go, and boom, something comes through, because that's coming out of your heart. That's coming out of your heart. There's no other choice. This is going to have to work or I'm not going to make it. And it comes out of your heart and it pushes into the universe and creates a reality for you, a way out for you. What if we didn't have to be pressed that much to change the reality? Well, that's when you master the human experience. There's a mastery of the human experience. Now, you don't master the complete experience, but you have mastery of many, many sectors of the human experience, and that's one of them, is to be able to speak from your heart. Speak the passion, the love language, the light language of your heart, that it illuminates out of your soul and illuminates out of your spirit and creates a reality in your experience. And anything that was happening prior to that no longer will exist or will have to come into alignment with it. We are powerful human beings. We are co-creators with the Creator. The tool that the Creator and us and its children, the Creator's us on the planet, the tool that the Creator uses with us is our imagination. That's a tool. That's a tool. Some are very sharp with it and some are very dull. And they're supposed to be like that. There are reality makers and there are reality maintainers. Many of us create a reality and others maintain it. And so all of that is in programming. All of that is how you think and how you feel about yourself. And it's not easy, and don't judge yourself, but I'm telling you, you get out there and grab yourself a tree, anchor down. Anchor right on down. Don't play with it, anchor right on down. I always tell people, don't believe me, go and do it and see how you feel. And what about you? Next day, you'll be standing right on that tree stump. You'll be standing right on that root of that tree. there's something in your soul, there's something that is in your spirit that receives peace from truth. That probably makes a lot of sense to a lot. It does. I can't get into it, but it makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. So yes. Right now we're in the battle of realities. Right now, it's Christmas season, it's holiday season. It will never be the same. The planet is in a societal like a societal situation. And right now, it's about the God you follow. It's about your government. It's about you. And for the first time in a very long time, the planet, the collective consciousness, has to look into its morality. It has to look into its morality. It has to see that there are things that are morally wrong. And so that takes a moment with us spiritual people.
Jordan Water. What can I say about Jordan Water? Well, obviously the Jordan Water, the product itself, amazing. The way it refreshes, the way the smell, the things you're able to do with it, how it just helps to uplift you when your energy's starting to fall, when you're feeling drained. But not only that, when you understand Lawrence Jordan, when you get to know him, when you get to experience him, get to learn from him, and understand what it is that he does, how much energy he puts into his clients, his mentees, the people that come across him. And you understand that he takes that same energy and is able to put it in a product. And it's just not because of the ingredients, the things he has to do to even get these ingredients, the water that he uses, his process. When you understand that someone is putting this type of energy in a bottle that can help you in ways that just for everyday use, whether it's, again, just to help refreshing your energy, whether it's use it as a sanitizer, all natural ingredients. You know that it's we encounter so many products that can be bad for us, but you come across products that only has positive benefits. So, and that's what, ever since I've had the Jordan Water, I used it every day. But it's also because I know the energy, again, that Lawrence Jordan has put behind this, that he's put into this. So, amazing product, amazing man. I'm so glad to have met him, and the lessons and how he's helping me to strengthen my gift, to understand my gift, understand more about who I am and what I'm meant to do. And he puts all that energy that he puts in everything he does. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And so, proud to have met him, to be learning from him, and now even proud to be to using his product. So,
dream state, consciousness, that for some reason they just feel like when you're asleep everything's shut off, which I don't understand how they can even think that. But so no, I'll tell my students, no, you don't shut off like that. The body shuts down, but the spirit doesn't sleep. There's no need for the spirit to sleep. So you're up, the work is still happening. You still are evolving, but now you have a different body. Now you're not traveling in the physical body, you're traveling in the astral body. However, far or small or short distance you can travel, but you're not in the physical realm. When you're having a dream, your body's not moving. So you're moving in the dream, but your body's not moving. So you have another body. So when you're in that level of dream state, if you're more aware of how that part works, that consciousness works, and it is a collective consciousness. You're not dreaming alone. You're not the only one asleep on the planet. When we go to sleep, there are millions of people that are asleep on the planet at the same time as you are. So it's just like there are millions of people up walking around in the middle of the day the same as you are. So what's happening with all those people sleeping? What's going on with those people that are asleep? And are you connecting to them? And what is this that's happening there? Especially if you live in an apartment building when you have 30, 40, 50, 60 people sleeping under one roof. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? And I often tell people, you are very much more powerful. You're much more aware of who you are in your dream state than when you are not. That's why people do a lot of programming in their dream state. They do a lot of getting over trauma and shadow work in their dream state. Shadow work people haven't gotten there yet because they don't understand dream state energy. So they do a lot of that, and it's not to say that they need to do that, but many people, who understand programming, understand that they have to reprogram themselves and they can't just be thrown around giving affirmations while they're up. This has got to go directly into their consciousness, so you can't do an affirmation and turn around and have lunch with someone and then hear a bad thing on the news and watch social media. That whole affirmation just been torn up. Just tore up. You mixed it with too many opposite energies in your mind. So yes, the programming can happen in the dream state. There's certain times and certain ways that you do it. It's not just like, a lot of people they want to play in the dream state. I'm like, you don't play in the dream state. You don't play in the dream state. But some of them learn the hard way. And many of them will probably, if I put this on TikTok and cut it up, they'll try to do it. Those are the people that teach us extremes. They teach us the extremes of it by what they do and what happens to them. So we understand it without us seeing it. We can just look at them and say they went too far. And I know not to do that. And that's okay. That's okay. Everybody has their way, is playing their role in this. Everybody's playing their role in this. So there is these are the bad guys and these are the good guys. Basically, if those guys weren't on the polar opposite, you wouldn't know what good was. So they're playing their role, and yeah, it's not good, and sometimes we're angry at them, and we understand the anger. We understand the anger. We're not faulting. We're not playing that I'm angry at these people. I shouldn't be because that's not a human. I'm angry because they are resisting what I want to do, and I know what they want to do is not. Well, I'm done with that. I've experienced what they were, and I'm not going to experience it anymore. And the people who are making me experiences, who want me to experience this negativity, they benefit from it, so they're not going to want me to not be involved in negativity. There is a force that I have to use. And so, yeah, you have to say to people, you have to say, I'm good. I'm trying to do something good. I'm trying to do something right. Doesn't mean that you go out into the world unprotected and let anybody say anything to you. No, I think that's what like I said, I'm a light worker. So they give me I have a little bit more freedom in a sense. Like you roll up and I always tell people, I'm not your pastor. You can talk to your pastor and church people like that. You can't talk to me that way. Because then I'll start talking to you in a way that you didn't even think that I would even talk to you that way. But that's how I have to tell you, no, I'm not. You're not going to just be in your program and run into my program and not change, not respect my program. And that's just pure respect. So, and that's what's happening now. A lot of people are thinking that everyone thought the way they thought. And then when someone says something back to them, it's always like, whoa, these spiritual people they say this and you ain't really spiritual. No, we're humans. You say something back. If you kick a dog, it's going to bite you eventually. Is the dog going to hell? Is it less than the dog? Is it a devil dog from hell? Is it an immoral dog? No. It's a dog that God gave a gift to defend itself. Period. throw a stone if you don't want a stone to be thrown back. I've been telling that because on the level there's a lot of fighting going on. There's a lot of fighting going on. The reason why there's a lot of fighting going on, and like this community, because people are opening up their mouths. They're opening up their mouths and they're not realizing exactly what they're saying. When someone checks them with what they're saying, they either get, because they haven't done the work, they're either getting their feelings in attack. It's like inner child work running amok in the spiritual world, because the movement has to mature. It's designed that way for so many people to be in an immature state, because the movement in itself, the collective movement, all of us are going to mature within this spiritual experience. We're not going to always be the same. We're not going to always have the same issues. It's going to be more solid, but we're going to have to mature with it. It means that we're going to not have to say we love, we're going to have to live it. And the how-to do it is going to have to come up. Can't be pie in the sky, and I can't be all of that. And it can't be, it has to be in a delicate in the middle where everything is talked about. It's talked about. I think when people stop talking about things, like they just decide that they don't want to talk about something that's hurting the whole entire planet, I think that's the worst thing. So I rather like people to talk about it, so that other people, sometimes you don't know where you stand on an issue until you hear two people talk about it. And so in the light working profession that we're having right now is that there are people, there are businesses, there are powers. It's a whole new world actually happening. I'm on a real small slither of it, but it's a whole new world right now for many of us. It's a whole new world. There are so many people now that are changing. There's so many people that are getting sick and tired of people hating. There's so many people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. There's so many people that are saying, you know what, I don't even understand why I've been at this job so long. I just don't. What, is there another way? And yes, there is another way, because what's happening is that there are avenues that are opening up that fit where you are and where you want to go with your life. But you have to accept the freedom that you have. You have to accept the freedom that you have. If you don't accept the freedom, then you can't accept to be free, because you don't accept the freedom. Because you, and I understand it, you were in a program where you were defined by the things that you owned, the titles that you have. So if you think you don't have that title and you don't have that property, in the old paradigm, it was like, oh, well, you have nothing, and so you basically tell you nothing. But in the new paradigm, it's almost the exact opposite. The more you own, the more that keeps you in a field of anxiety and lack. That you have to continue to do something to maintain these things, these physicalities. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you just live on the side of the road. That's not what I'm saying. But there's a level of balance that has to be struck so that you can breathe more and see more for your life. A lot of people are, and I think they should, they're buying homes and everything, but a lot of us light workers are like, you know what, I'm not trying to buy a home because I thought I might be trying to buy a mobile home. Because, we go on these sabbaticals where we take a year off. And we have to. There are certain ceremonies I have to go to. I have to see certain people. I have to commune with them for certain months. I want to, because it's part of my journey, my voyage. And when I finish with it, I have a whole wealth of teachings that I can teach to my students. And I think that's the difference. I think right now with light workers, the teachers, a lot of them are, I know with me and my crew, we constantly learn. I constantly learn. If it's a channel, it's a new technique I need to work out. If I need to call a colleague that works in light language, or if I need to call another shaman, ask them. There is a network of us that have the information, that we help each other create the lesson plans that are necessary. how else is this going to happen? It has to be with people who have actually experienced it in order to teach it. And so we're looking at so many of the people now sort of come to this crest, like they're coming to this level where they're not being fed enough, and they are getting tired of the regurgitation of information, because wherever they were, they exhausted the person, meaning that was to the level of the person's knowledge. And so they're exhausting a lot of the first layer healers and prophets. That first layer, those particular ones have to go back and now start to learn more about their gift and come back, but they burn through them. And so they're headed toward us and layers of us. And so that's why I've come out on TikTok, so that I can tell people from experience and offer authenticity as not only an option, the only way to go. The only way to go. So sometimes people are thinking, oh, it's an option if you're authentic. It's not an option. It's the only way to go. You won't go very far in this field if you're not authentic. You just won't go very far in this field. And you don't know what that energy is going to do to you, because you don't even know energy healing. So you don't know when a whole bunch of people are looking at you, what's that doing to you. You don't know if a whole bunch of people resting on every word that you speak because they think that you know what you don't know. If you're not built for that level of energy being targeted towards you, you don't know what that is. You don't know how to cleanse yourself from that energy. No one's ever teaching you that, because you didn't come in through the point of healing. So it's like you using a tool that you don't know how to clean or put away. So it's always on, and you're always on, you're frying yourself. You're frying yourself because you don't have the support system in order to create a spiritual business. The support system for yourself, you're offering it to everyone else, but you're unaware of how your tool has to be maintained in order for you to work with your clients. Completely unaware of it. And when you become aware of it, you have to understand that there are people who work to maintain other light workers. That's their job. That's their mission.